everyone, welcome back to the channel. So for today, we're gonna call this like a product review video, but I'm actually gonna be product testing it before I put this video out, and I'll give you guys my opinion. I'm thinking probably I'll use it for a week and then we'll see how that goes. You know, I'll give you my pros, my cons about it, but it's definitely an item that I've been very excited about when I first saw this released, and I've been waiting for a while. So with that being said, please like, comment, share, because I waited an entire week so I could do this intro, and I did not use the product. It's been sitting here in the office, and I'm gonna take this week to actually use it. So I'll give you guys my opinion, my honest opinion. I did buy this. I will post the price on this item. I believe the one I got was 5 meters, and I'm giving you guys a hint, but I'll show you here in a sec. It is a lanyard. In fact, it is the new Camp Gyro lanyard, the single 5 meter. And yeah, I'll post the price and all of the details on that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look. I did already open it. It just comes in a simple box. Just wanted to make sure everything was in there. But I'll show you guys. I didn't take anything out. Everything's still in the box. But yeah, I'll show you how it came and what it came with, so you guys know what to expect, at least from that perspective. And then, you know, I'll be using it this entire week as I climb, and I'll tell you guys how I feel about it. And yeah, see if it's good, if it lives up to the hype, or, you know, if I wasted a lot of money and it's just going to be another lanyard that collects dust. But I very much doubt that, because it looks freaking awesome. But yeah, let's get to it. Okay guys, so here is the box. As you can see, the Gyro lanyard single. Just show you guys real quick, it's nothing crazy. Taking a look at the back, so it is certified with 3 different hitches: the Catalyst, the Distal, and the Michoacan. Michoacan is what it comes already assembled with. With that being said, it's like most tree gear stuff. You could use other hitches, but they have certified it with those specific hitches, which is why they recommend that you run those hitches with this device, because they haven't tested it with others. Does that mean that other hitches won't work? Of course not. You can use other hitches, but they certified this lanyard with those specific hitches. Anyways, taking a look at the inside here, we have our lanyard. And before I get to the lanyard, I'll just show you guys the little tidbits here inside. It does come with a little Allen wrench, and this is to disassemble the side little kind of metal fittings that hold certain pieces together. This is a Torx T20 there. So you can see the specs. Tells you to lock tight those screws that you undo. It also comes with this little plastic piece. What this does is, for your tail end of the lanyard here, you have this little plastic piece where you can attach an accessory carabiner to keep the tail end of the lanyard from hanging. You know, pretty nifty little thing. And then other than that, you get your little manual here that gives you all the information that you might need. So there you go. You can tie your Michoacan with this. And with that said, something to go over. This is the 5 meter lanyard. And for my non-metric users, such as myself, that equates to around a little over 16 feet. The knot that it comes pre-assembled with is the Michoacan. And the prusik cord is a soft 8mm polyester cord with an 11mm iridium line that is heat core and polyamide. all that to say it's probably a little bit more abrasion and friction resistant, but I can't imagine it's more than most others. With that being said, let's take a look at the actual system here. So first of all, it does come with carabiners. You get 2 oval Camp carabiners, but I'm sure that Camp just slaps their logo on it and they have somebody else manufacture the actual carabiners, but they are triple locking oval carabiners. This specific lanyard comes with Camp's patented splice, which I really like. I think it's compact, it's nice and small. The fact that you can take this carabiner out, and for example in tight unions, if you're coming back from a long limb walk and you're using your lanyard to kind of control and mitigate that swing, you can take the carabiner out and pop it out of that tight union a little bit easier than you could with some of the other lanyards that have a little bit of a bigger splice. So the way that they splice their ends, I think, is super cool. All right, taking a closer look at our actual climbing mechanism here. So for starters, we have 2 carabiners that it comes with. They're triple locking oval carabiners, Camp logo, although I'm sure somebody manufactures it for them and they just slap their logo on it, but they are aluminum. They are rated for 28 kilonewtons, which is actually pretty surprising. I don't think I've seen that high for lanyards. Typically they come, 23, 24 kilonewtons, but it's well above life support. Secondly, you have your actual mechanism here with your Michoacan hitch. This does not come assembled with this little plastic fitting here. This would actually come separate, attached to this carabiner. So if you don't put this in here, then the carabiner won't be held in as tight. I prefer my carabiner not to be moving around, because then you can get them in weird angles where they'll side load. So if you just fit this plastic fitting in here, then it keeps your carabiner, in a nice streamlined position where it's not going to move and it's not going to potentially get side loaded. And as you can see, you have your swivel there. Really nice engineering on that swivel. It just keeps it so compact and small. I really like that. And when you assemble it all together in an MRS system, this is what really caught my eye. Now take a look at how streamlined and nice and neat all that looks together in this MRS system. A lot of the times, if you're in an uncomfortable position, you have a lot of equipment on you, you're in a long limb walk, and it can be very uncomfortable, especially if you're having to deal with bulky and big systems. Something like this that's nice and neat and small sometimes it's those little things that make the biggest difference, and that's what really caught my attention when it came to this. So I really like that. Obviously, I have not tested it in the tree yet, but just taking a look at it from out the box, I really already like it. Now, in the tree, it might be a different story, but I very much doubt it. But with that being said, that's what it looks like in the MRS configuration. This is rated for both front and side use, meaning you can put it on your bridge or you can use it as a normal lanyard on your sides. So you can run this on an MRS system. You can also run it in an SRT configuration, which I thought was really cool. And yeah, there's not much more that needs to be said. Anything that I might have forgotten, I'll try to add, but other than that, let's just go out and use it, and we'll see you guys in the clips. And I'll come back when I have my 1 week opinion on it. So see you guys soon. another day. Today we are going to be testing out that lanyard. So today's the first day and I'll show you guys some clips and we'll see how it goes. Alright, this is the tree I got. Nasty vined up silver maple. We're doing some house clearance, so getting rid of some of those lower leads there. And then after that, we're just cutting off the ivy. We'll have Dell over there in the bucket. He's gonna raise that hackberry. And then we have some in the back. But for now, we'll get started on this, getting rid of those leads there. Hey Dale. Yeah. Can you hop on that rigging rope for me? Yep. Come on. Okay. I'm gonna cut 2 limbs, all right? Okay. I'm gonna cut the stub, all right? Okay, I'm clear. Alrighty, so first impressions, as this is my first climb, it's pretty nice. The one thing that I have to kind of get adjusted to is the friction of a cord as opposed to mechanical. The ART is like very, very sensitive, so I can tap on the trigger and it'll loosen, whereas this is a little more friction. But I mean, overall, the pulley system itself, one-handed, nice and easy control, so that's nice. The cord breaks fairly easily. I normally prefer VT when it comes to my lanyards, so I might end up swapping that out because I think the Michoacan bites a little too much for a lanyard. But yeah, feeling pretty good so far, but we'll see through the week the pros and cons of it. Alrighty, thank you.
You want to get on that rope?
Yep.
Just one limb. You ready for the next one?
Ready.
All right.
All right, guys. So one thing to note, I know some guys are very particular about their carabiners. These are very, very nice. One-handed, accessible, you can open. I don't need two hands. Really good grip on it. These are brand new gloves, so they're a little bit slipperier than normal. Even though they have that grip, it's still a little bit, it's not the type of grip that I like, you know, from your bare hands. I know some guys prefer their bare hands for that same reason. But even with the gloves, one-handed, easy triple locking opening. Yeah, very nice. All right, guys, so pretty much done with the first climb here. Just a couple of things that I was thinking about this. For us East Coast guys, I feel like this lanyard is really, really nice. You know, we don't have to deal with too many pitchy, sappy trees like the guys out west. And that's the one thing that I feel like I'm gonna make an assumption, because I haven't climbed in pines or spruces or whatever, or any evergreens yet. Make a little assumption there that this device is gonna struggle in sap. Now, for our sake as the consumer, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that they designed it with that in mind. But from personal experience, I know that prussics have a little bit of a harder time when it comes to pitchy trees. But so far, you know, silver maple, nice white tree. It's been performing really well. If you guys like prussic cord lanyards, then I feel like you're really gonna like this. Just with how compact it is, how slim and smooth it is. The carabiners feel really nice. Everything all together just fits real nice and feels really good in the hand. Like I said, it's the first day, so we'll see what other cons come up. But if I get a chance to climb any pitchy, sappy trees, we'll test it out, and I think that'll be the ultimate test for this, because that's where some mechanicals really shine, like Xeon. The ART struggles a little bit with pitchy trees, but the Xeon really is good for that one. But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated. All right, guys, so we're here with one final test, and for some of you this might not be important, but for me it is. And this, I think, will be the ultimate decider on how versatile this device really is. So the test that I'm gonna be doing is a work climb, like we would do in a climbing competition. And this is to kind of showcase the speed at which you can utilize the lanyard. You know, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm just gonna do one final test here, and just to see how well-rounded this device actually is, and whether it'll replace my ART positioner for the work climb, or if I'm just gonna keep it strictly for work. But with that being said, I'll run I think two runs on this cottonwood tree here, and I'll show you guys the run, and we'll see how well it performs afterwards, and I'll give you my final thoughts and opinions. But with that being said, let's get to it. I might regret wearing the mic, but for the sake of you guys hearing me heavy breathe, I'll keep it on. Okay. And let's go. Clear. And clear, so you can control the swing. Wait for another swing. Damn it, and the camera cut off. Oh man, I hate GoPros. Well, I'm not doing that run again. Well guys, I did my 2 runs there. Camera shut off, I think it overheated. It doesn't look like it, but it's actually pretty warm today. So I'm not gonna run it again. I have everything I need to know based off those 2 runs. Obviously take everything I say with a grain of salt because this is only 1 week into it. A little past a week actually, but been using it pretty consistently throughout. And yeah, let's head back and I'll give you guys my final opinions. Alright guys, so for the sake of saving time and not having to record more, just so I can get this video out to you guys, I'm just gonna do a voiceover over my second run. The camera shut off, so it wasn't like a complete run anyways, but anyways, with that being said, let's get to it. So, first of all, I want to touch up on a couple things. We're going to start with how does it perform when it comes to actual tree work? Well, it's incredibly versatile. The fact that you can use it as an MRS system or in an SRT configuration, and it is rated to quote unquote side load the carabiner, even though it's not side loading it. It has been tested for that. I think that makes it very versatile. It's compact. The design is phenomenal. They incorporate their camp swivel, which is very small, discreet. Overall, it performs really well when it comes to tree work. One of my biggest gripes when it comes to the ART positioner is how incredibly sensitive the trigger mechanism is. And for a lot of you, when you're doing tree work, you know, fatigue is such a real thing. There are times when you're not paying attention to some small detail like, oh, is the trigger mechanism facing outward? I've had so many close calls with the ART positioner where I'm getting ready to make a cut, I'm revving up my chainsaw, and boom, my body twists a certain type of way to position myself for the cut, and all of a sudden I'm dropping a foot or two. My heart drops. And it's because of how sensitive the ART positioner's trigger mechanism is. And, you know, that's a good thing. Yes, you want it that smooth, but also when you're making those cuts and you're heavily relying on your work positioning lanyard, you don't want that to happen. With the cam gyro, you're not going to get that. You get the friction of a prosec, and in a work environment, that is it's an incredible thing. So I got to give it props to that in that regard. Now, let's get to the second half of this. How does it perform for comps? Well, I tried it both on my side and front D-rings, and I gotta say, it's a little bit too much friction. It's in that regard, it's not going to replace the ART positioner. If you're at an awkward angle, it causes too much friction sometimes to quickly adjust on the fly. Overall, getting the unclipping the carabiners and clipping them back on is piece of cake. But when you need that extra little bit of lanyard because you didn't properly give yourself enough and you need a little bit more slack, it's a little bit hard to tend, and especially if you're on a limb walk. So when it comes to speed, it's definitely not meant for speed. I might have to try it out with something like the VT, where the knot will break a little bit easier, and obviously getting used to it a little bit more might help. But with that being said, this is more so, I think, designed for work, which makes sense. A lot of this stuff is. Now, let's get to the important part. Is it worth $300? I think that's the question on everybody's mind. And my opinion, when it comes to actual tree work, it's definitely going to be replacing my current lanyard setup. I think the 5 meters is a perfect length for what I do on the day-to-day basis. I do a lot of removals when it comes to climbing, I do a lot of pruning as well, so it's a mixed bag, and I'm not solely locked into one thing or the other. So 5 meters is perfect enough for the variety of trees that I find out here in the East Coast. The $300 mark, I think it's really gonna come down to like most things in tree work, and that's durability. How long is this lanyard gonna last? And that's gonna dictate if this is actually worth it or not. I feel like the way that it's designed, it will last. With that being said, we're gonna see. There's some lanyards, that you run a prusik cord and a hitch climber pulley, and it'll last you years and years and years, and you'll still be using it. I think that if this lasts you a good year, you've made your money out of it, and you've been able to properly position yourself, comfortably work with just the versatility of the lanyard, and in that aspect, you definitely made your money back. So hopefully that's the answer that you wanted to hear. If not, hey, test it out yourself. I mean, I'll probably do a little short here if I remember in a year or so, and kind of update on how well it's doing. But yeah, like most things, if it's the worth is always going to come down to how long it lasts. I know some people want these things to last for 20 years, but realistically, I don't see that happening. And it depends on usage as well. I'm climbing pretty consistently. It's not every single day, but I see this lanyard lasting well over a year. And as far as like the parts and stuff, I'm not entirely sure if they're replaceable. And then I don't know if there's any certain specifications as far as replacing the prusik, or if you can, obviously you can replace it with any, but I don't know if there's any recommendations that they would give as far as what type. But with that being said, guys, I'm not going to make this video longer than it already is. Hope you guys found this insightful. Let me know if you like the review. If there's anything that you want me to review, leave it down in the comments. Let me know. Like the video if you thought it was useful to you, and yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one.